Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now, today we are going to discuss the hot topic of the nationality of the leader of opposition, Mark Golding's legitimacy to sit in our parliament and whether or not he should actually be there. Now, I'm going to be discussing this from two standpoints. From both the legal standpoint and from a moral standpoint. But before I go any further, I need to say this. During this conversation, I'm going to get a lot of animosity from both laborites and comrades. Because you see, the thing with we as black people, we don't like the truth. First of all, we are delusional. And once we pick a lie and we pick our favorite lie, just as when we pick our favorite religion or we pick our favorite politician, we form in our mind that they are good or bad as the case may be. In this case, our politician where we love is always good. Our politician where we like is always honest. They no lie, they no thief. The liar and the thief them always be over the other side. And we will always gravitate towards people who can feed the lie that we have in our head, who can feed the delusion that we have formed in our minds, and decide to stick with, regardless of whether it is true or false. Once we love what is being said, as far as we're concerned, it is true. And if we don't like what is being said, then it is false. And therefore, we always surround ourselves with people who are as delusional as ourselves, who can feed into that false narrative. But as for me, truth is just the truth. And I don't care which side. If it's a fact, it's a fact. Because I think I just keep things real. So, since me I go mashing up can I'm gonna mash everybody to listen for the things we don't like, cause there's a lot of things I'm gonna say now which you're not gonna like. Depends on which side on the depend, and a lot of things you're going to hate if it's not the side on the depend. But overall, there's some sweetness and some bitterness for all of uno political acts. So let's get the facts going now. First, I'm gonna ask the question: what the hell the Labour them are going with? I mean, really making a big deal over Mark Golding's nationality? Have those people really read the Constitution? To me, it is moronic to say that there is a legal reason why Mark Golding should not be sitting in our parliament and why he cannot be our Prime Minister. Our Jamaican Constitution makes it clear that any person from a Commonwealth country has the nationality of any Commonwealth country can sit in our parliament. The Constitution is absolutely clear on that. So then, why are we making a big deal out of it? I know it is okay when there are a lot of psychopaths out there and these blind political tribalists, and I understand that. But there are many government officials who have also taken up on this. And that is sad. And here's the reason why I say it's sad. Because it reeks of desperation. But why should the JLP be desperate enough to be making an issue which is really a non-issue? Why? And here is why I think they should not be doing it. The very vibrant economic state that Jamaica finds itself in at this time is the best it has ever been since the 1960s. In other words, Jamaica's social and economic strides in the last 8 or 9 years are unprecedented in this country. Who want like it, it's a fact. I'm not going to feel in anybody's false narrative, feed anybody's false narrative because them don't like the truth. I'm sorry. So, this has never happened before since 1970 or 1971. I only the progress that Jamaica have made in the past 80 years because, I mean, it's on Google. Ask the World Bank, ask the IMF, ask any international lending agency, IBD, etc. They can all give the figures. And that is, of course, if you don't trust the statistics of that Jamaica puts out. So, to me, this is petty. But first of all, if the current Jamaican government don't feel that it can actually use those many successes that it have had to win the next general election, then something is wrong. Maybe something is missing. Something the Jamaican government knows that I don't know. But let's get back to the specific case of Mark Golding. Under the Jamaican Constitution, as I said, any member of the British Commonwealth, that means that you can come from India, Pakistan, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, or any other British Commonwealth country, you can sit in the Jamaican Parliament. Because in a wide twist, it is believed, even though I think it is fiction, it is believed that British Commonwealth countries are not foreign countries. All British Commonwealth share a common philosophy of a common democratic and social philosophy, and therefore what is good for one is good for all, and therefore British Commonwealth countries are not foreign countries to each other, and therefore we can sit in each other's parliament because we all mean each other's country the very best. Now that is just the spirit of the Constitution, or the British Commonwealth Constitution. So based on that, Mark Golding is well within his right to sit where he is from a legal standpoint. However, are some people who are still questioning his allegiance. And to some extent, you have to question it, yes. But in practice, is it really an issue? Is it really an issue? And here's the reason why I ask that. I know that there are many Jamaicans who born in Jamaica, have one passport, have never boarded an aeroplane in their life, and they would F this country. They would F up this country for a foreign nation. I can tell you that. There are many people in Jamaica who would join the American army if there's a war come between Jamaica and the United States. They would join the US Marine and help kill off Jamaicans, and them don't even have an American passport. And me I tell you, say, most of the people who F up Jamaica as politicians do not have a foreign passport. Them are total Jamaican 100%. Born and grow here and never board a plane in them life. Therefore, we cannot look at that. As a matter of fact, let me give you some. I have many examples, and now I'm going to give you one of the examples why I say this is a storm in a teacup and a non-issue. In 2012, a man called Gregory Meir stood up in Parliament and wanted to know and ask the question of Dr. Omar Davis. Ask him, why is it that is a foreign company who makes uniforms for the Bank of Jamaica? He wanted to know, why is it that Jamaicans could not be making uniforms for the Bank of Jamaica, a company, a state agency like the BOJ, and those uniforms had to be made overseas? You know what Omar Davis's response was? He said that Jamaican companies could not make the uniforms of a high enough quality that could represent the staff of the Bank of Jamaica. And secondly, they could not be delivered on time because Jamaica is not known for delivered delivering such uniforms on time. Gregory Mayer had to then say, so why didn't you set up Jamaica in a position where they could have been able to have gotten the expertise and the equipment that they could have made the uniforms here? He got no answer. No answer. Omar Davis had been outsourcing Jamaica's uniform for at least up to that date over 15 years. In that last time, the budget for the 2012 to 2014 uniform order was 30.2 million Jamaican dollars at that time. Gregory Mayer chided him vigorously for exporting Jamaican jobs overseas, and at a time when our foreign exchanges was so low, extremely low. So, but by the way, I need to state who Omar Davies was. He was the Minister of Finance at the time when all of those things were happening. The Minister of Finance. There was another thing that Gregory Mayer was extremely grievous about, and which he brought to Parliament also, was that we have a school feeding program in Jamaica called the National School Feeding Program, which is managed by the Nutrition Products Limited. All of the ingredients that are used to feed Jamaican kids every single day, Omar Davis makes sure so that all of it coming from overseas. Gregory Mayer asked him, why couldn't you have allowed milk? Why didn't you set the Jamaica dairy industry on a footing enough that they could supply the milk? But no, Omar Davis makes sure that milk coming from milk powder coming from overseas and then dilute it below the minimum nutrition requirements for the kids. So instead of helping to develop the Jamaica's dairy industry and keep jobs here, the government at that time was sending our jobs overseas and helping to depress Jamaica's economy. But here's the kicker. Here is the kicker. Omar Davis, as far as the world knows, Banya, and he does not have any other citizenship for any other country. Yet, it was the same comrades who caused Gregory Mayer to resign from Parliament by releasing the data that he had a Venezuelan citizenship. But look at it. The Venezuelan man, the man who had both a Jamaican and Venezuelan citizenship, was able to see the wrongs that a banned Jamaican without a foreign passport was effing up Jamaica, and was willing to stand up for Jamaica, while the one who banned ya did a cock way up back way and a grind way. The point I'm making is, having a foreign passport does not change your love for your country. If you love your country, you love your country. Furthermore, Mark Golding, to the best of my knowledge, was born in Jamaica. And as far as I know, he has never left this country. I don't know where he got his degree, but he might have gotten it overseas. I'm not quite sure. But bear in mind, he has always been in Jamaica. He did business in Jamaica. He invested in Jamaica. He spent his life in Jamaica. Give him that, man. On top of that, he's married to a Jamaican black woman. Well, the fact that him dress her up in a poor curtain and pure bedspread is a different issue, which I had already discussed in a different blog, so I won't go there. But the fact is that his investments are here. So give the man some credit and don't feel that that is any excuse or we should be beating down on that because of the man's passport. I can see where Mark Golding's allegiance lies. Because if him never there and want be here, him wouldn't be here. Another thing we need to look at, there is nobody out of the two parties, the one who kissed the Queen and King's ass in England more than anybody else is the JLP. Labourites on a whole, when it come to kissing the Queen ass, at them you talk about. Remember, it was the PNP who have always been saying, let's form the Caribbean Court of Justice and let's use the Caribbean Court of Justice we can control our own laws. Weak ASS Labourites still stuck up to the white man and what them say. We want to keep the Privy Council. We have to keep the Privy Council. We don't want black man tell we when we right and wrong. We trust the white man. So as a policy among Labourites is to kiss the ASS of our former colonial slave masters. That's a fact. The PNP has always been the ones who said, listen, let us go our own way, let us become a republic, and let us form because we have a lot of learned people throughout the entire Caribbean that we can come together and form our own Caribbean Court of Justice. Now, let's look at another case. When Arbin Hill took over NCB as the group managing director in August of 2002, he realized, one of the first things he realized was that the NCB female staff, all their uniforms came from overseas. And he asked, why is every NCB uniform for the ladies coming from overseas? Why? And then he got the same thing from the board because it was a board meeting, he said it. And they said because they can't find anybody to make the uniform out here to that quality. You know what Arbin Hill did? Arbin Hill, same time, he called the Jamaica Manufacturers Association. And when he called him say, find me somebody who is a member of the JMA or who is even outside of it. Use your network. Find me somebody who you think has the capacity and the skill to make uniforms for NCB. And the JMA did find somebody. And they went into a meeting, both JMA and that possible manufacturer and the NCB. What came out of that meeting was, listen, based on what you want and the quantity that you want, while we have the expertise, we neither have the staff nor the machinery that could produce it in the time that you would want. Arbin Hill said, all right, here's what we're going to do. I am going to give you a long-term contract for X number of years. I don't remember it was 3 or 4 years. But he gave that company a long-term contract to make those uniforms. And then he said, listen, I'm going to give you the contract. I'm going to give you a long delivery date. Right? I'm going to give you a 9 months delivery date. Right? From the signing of the contract. So I'm giving you enough time to put things in place. I'm also going to take the first set of uniforms in phases. So you don't have to give us everything one time, but delivery starts in 9 months. After that, you should be more efficient, can give it to us on better time. Arbin Hill went further, and Arbin Hill said, listen, you say you need more machinery. All right, I am going to give you a loan from our bank. I'm going to give you a loan from our bank. And with this loan, you are going to expand your workspace. You're going to import the machinery. You're going to employ the staff you need and get cracking. And I'm going to give you this loan at a very reasonable rate, lower than you would normally get, because it's a special assignment. And that is what Arbin Hill did. And to this blessed day, Jamaica, all uniform for the National Commercial Bank in Jamaica are made in Jamaica. So the NCB, because of Auburn Hill, kept jobs in Jamaica, kept foreign exchange in Jamaica, and created employment. Omar Davis never think of that, or couldn't do that. No. Me I gotta just ask you know. You don't think somebody did grease Omar Davis palm? I don't know. Just asking. I will not go there, but me just ask. You don't tell me. But well, I know. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Here is the kicker. Auburn Hill had both an American passport and a Canadian passport. Auburn Hill didn't owe Jamaica the loyalty that Omar Davis owed Jamaica. Because if he made in a parliament, then when I tell me say, oh, him a foreigner, and him can't do nothing for we are rifling because I'm allegiance not there. And that is how political sycophants do. That is how they operate. So if we are going to look at the simple fact that this man have an overseas nationality along with Jamaica, that is petty, that is absolutely petty, and I think labor rights Uno can do better than that. Because Nofa Uno we sell out Jamaica to the UK crown same way and have done it all the time, and you know have no foreign allegiance as a passport or as a birth certificate, but in our heart and our mind, we are foreigner, and we turn this country back way and grind with same way. But having said that, you know, don't get me wrong, because all in my worst nightmare, I cannot think of seeing this man, Mark Golding, really with that color skin, going up and speaking on Jamaica's behalf on an international platform. I just can't see it. Although in all honesty, I'd rather see him attack to it overseas than that jet black man we call PJ Patterson. I'd rather Mark Golding if I had a chat between the two anyway. Now, honestly people, can any Jamaican imagine Mark Golding put on him tuxedo, him nice tuxedo, well tucked in, and go to an international ball, say well at the White House or at Buckingham Palace, and I go put on them kind of dance in here? Come on, talk it out now.